Hello techies. Let's discuss interview question and answers of Kubernetes. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms. Kubernetes interview question and answers. 1. What is Kubernetes? A container orchestration tool or system, such as Kubernetes, is a free and open-source tool or method used to automate operations such as the administration, monitoring, scaling, and deployment of containerized applications. As a result of its ability to handle the grouping of containers, it can manage many containers, allowing for logical unit discovery and management. 2. What is the difference between Kubernetes and Docker? Docker is an open-source platform for software development that is free to use and modify. Essentially, it bundles the settings and dependencies that the software/application needs to execute inside a container, which allows for mobility and a variety of additional benefits. Kubernetes provided manual linking and orchestration of numerous containers operating on several hosts. They were generated using the Docker container orchestration system. 3. What are the essential elements of the Kubernetes architecture? There are two elements in Kubernetes architecture: master node, worker node. The individual components can be found in each of these components. 4. What is a node in Kubernetes? The smallest fundamental unit of computing hardware is the node. It symbolizes a single machine in a cluster, a physical data center unit, or a virtual machine from a cloud provider. In a Kubernetes cluster, any device can take the place of any other machine. In Kubernetes, the master is in charge of the nodes that have containers. 5. What does the node status contain? Address, condition, capacity, and info are the four essential components of a node status. 6. What process runs on the Kubernetes master node? The Kube API server process operates on the master node and allows more instances to be scaled. 7. What are the different services within Kubernetes? Different types of Kubernetes services include: 1. Cluster IP service. 2. Node port service. 3. External name creation service. 4. Load balancer service. 8. What is cluster IP service? The cluster IP service is the default Kubernetes service that provides an internal service that other apps in your cluster can access, with no external access. 9. What is node port service? The node port service is the most basic method of directing external traffic to your benefit. It configures all nodes to open a specific port and redirects any traffic submitted to that port to the service. 10. What is a load balancer in Kubernetes? To expose services to the internet, the load balancer service is used. For example, a network load balancer establishes a single IP address that directs all traffic to your benefit. 11. How to run Kubernetes locally. The Mini-Kube tool can be used to build up Kubernetes locally. In a virtual machine on the computer, it operates a single-node cluster. As a result, it provides the ideal solution for customers who are still learning Kubernetes. 12. What is Kube-scheduler? The Kube-scheduler assigns nodes to newly created pods. 13. What is a Kube-let? The Kube-let is a service agent that monitors the Kubernetes API server for pod specs and controls and maintains a group of pods. It protects the pod lifecycle by guaranteeing that all containers in a given set are up and functioning. The Kube-let is software that runs on each node and allows communication between the master and slave nodes. 14. What is KubeCtl? KubeCtl is a command line interface, CLI, for running commands on Kubernetes clusters. As a result, Various construct and manage orders on the Kubernetes component are used to operate the Kubernetes cluster manager. 15. Briefly explain Kube-proxy. Kube-proxy is a load balancer and network proxy that supports service abstraction and other networking activities. Based on the port number and IP address of incoming requests, Kube-proxy is in charge of routing traffic to the appropriate container. 16. What is a pod in Kubernetes? High-level structures that enclose one or more containers are known as pods. It is because Kubernetes does not run containers directly. Containers in the same pod are connected by a local network and resources, allowing them to communicate with other containers in the pod as if they were on the same system while retaining isolation. 17. What is Heapster in Kubernetes? For data acquired by the Kube-let, a Heapster is a performance monitoring and metrics collection solution. This aggregator is natively supported and runs in a Kubernetes cluster like any other pod, allowing it to detect and query usage statistics from all nodes in the cluster. 18. What is Kubernetes Controller Manager? The Controller Manager is a daemon that manages core control loops, garbage collection, and namespace generation. It allows several processes to run on the master node, even if they were all compiled to run as a single process. 19. What are the types of controller managers? The endpoints controller, service accounts controller, namespace controller, node controller, token controller, and replication controller are the primary controller managers that can operate on the master node. 20. What are the types of Kubernetes load balancers? There are two types of load balancing. Internal load balancer. This balancer automatically balances loads and assigns the needed incoming load to the pods. External load balancer. This form of balancer directs the traffic from external loads to back-end pods by this form of the balancer. Thanks for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel to know more about such interesting technologies. Watch other videos in our Upptalk channel.